Hi there everybody, this is David and welcome to new RPG news. We have a lot of really cool stuff to go over today, from a brand new level 5 game that nobody knows about, to maybe pixel art making a comeback in the Final Fantasy series, to a whole lot more, including some new details on the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky First Chapter Remake, and I do think that all of that is worth a sub as I try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers. And with your help, your like, and your sub, I do know that I can get there. All the cool kids are doing it, so you might as well, because we got a cool story shooting us off here. This is Zephyr's Pass for the Game Boy Color, of all things. If you want a rare game, look no further. I will have a link to this below as well so you can order it yourself. Yeah, Game Boy Color games are still being made today. Who knew? So this is Zephyr's Pass from Incube 8 Games. Whenever you buy it, it comes in a Game Boy Color case. You actually get the physical game itself. You get an instruction manual. You get a sticker sheet as well. It costs $60. And if you want to try it out for yourself before you buy it, there is a game demo that you can try. So that's there as well. There's also a digital edition if you don't want to buy the Game Boy Color game. This looks to be a Zelda-inspired game right here. It says, set in a land tormented by destructive winds, the game's inhabitants are forced to live in canyons and travel via low-flying airships. The story follows a young hero, Abel, who joins forces with a band of pirates to defeat Thane, a man striving to become the Wind God. To accomplish this, Abel must locate ancient pieces of armor, each granting him new abilities and the strength to save his land. The game features rich, detailed visuals that surpass many other titles on the system, both homebrew and official release. It offers challenging puzzles that vary up the dungeons you will explore, each following a unique feature that the player must test. I completely ruined that sentence, but you get it! It's kind of a Zelda thing going on here, and it looks pretty neat. Again, if you want a rare game, a pretty decent game, a cool game, be sure to check this one out. This past weekend, I was at PAX West, and I did a whole lot of really cool stuff. I got a chance to play some demos, and I got a chance to do a panel talking about JRPGs and their stories. And whenever NIS America releases that video, I will share it with y'all. And I also got a chance to do a stupid little dance, which I'm showing you up above. But basically, I am using this story as an excuse to talk about PAX. This is Square Enix announcing their Tokyo Game Show lineup and their schedule, talking about the games that I was able to play. This week, I released 3 videos going over the Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, Romancing Saga, Revenge of the Seven, and Fantasian Neo Dimension. I got to play those 3 games, in addition to everything else that I was doing at PAX, and those games, in addition to other games, are also going to be at the Tokyo Game Show if you do happen to be in Japan from the 26th through the 29th. In addition to those 3, they're going to be going over Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, Final Fantasy XIV Online, Final Fantasy XVI, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Power Wash Simulator, and Visions of Mana. And there is a long schedule here. If you're going to the show, be sure to check that out. And I also just wanted to make you aware that a lot of these games that I got a chance to play and go over are available on Amazon for purchase, and I will have links below for each of these games: for the Dragon Quest III, for the Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, as well as for the Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma Earth Dancer Limited Edition. This one is $100. It does include the soundtrack CD, the art book, A Japanese Fan, Seasons of Love DLC with additional DLC costumes and a plush keychain package with game in a custom box. It does not come with me dancing, though. Yeah, that was just a stupid thing that I wanted to do. I saw the booth set up and I'm like, let me dance! And I got to use the 3 little instruments to do that. Unfortunately, Fantasian, it doesn't look like, at least right now. The thing is, we don't even have a release date for Fantasian quite yet. All we know is winter. All we know is winter this year. We don't have a firm release date, therefore it isn't available. I don't want to say, that's a bad way to put it. It's not available on Amazon, I'll just put it that way. But it is available on Play Asia, so I will include a link to this for purchase as well. If you want to get any of these games, links for purchase for physical editions are down below. I do think it's very important to support physical editions. That's why I include this in the news. Another game that I went over last week, but last week we didn't have a physical release, and now we do, is Tales of Graces F Remastered. There is a standard edition available. As of right now, it is only available on the Bandai Namco store. So again, I'll have a link for this as well. This is coming out January the 17th, and it's only $40. So this is much cheaper. It's coming out for the Nintendo Switch as well as the PS5. So those versions are available right there. The box art is absolutely beautiful as well. Level 5 Vision 2024 To the World's Children has been set. We have a release date of September the 24th. We've been hearing about this for like all summer long. They said, hey, we're going to do this level 5 blast. We're going to put out all sorts of news and everything else, and we heard nothing of it. Finally, September 24th, we're going to be hearing more news. This is at 9 p.m. Japan time. I don't know what that is, Eastern time. I can't do the math right now because I'm dumb. Anyway, so the feature titles will include Inazuma 11 Victory Road. It says a release date and new gameplay systems will be announced. According to Level 5 President, there's a system with a major impact that is yet to be announced, adding that there will be some information that will definitely surprise everyone. Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. Last we heard that this was delayed. It says an update on release timing will be announced, so we'll probably get either a release date or a release window, like Q1, Q2, or something of next year. Some more news on Deca Police, Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, and a completely new title. I don't know what that is, but I'm really hoping that that's going to be a NiNoKuni 3, and I want to hear from y'all. What do you think the new title is going to be? Let me know. More news on The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Into a Still World, A Journey Continued trailer. This introduced what's known as the Still World, as well as a sword fighter form, which I do want to go over. It says, the land of Hyrule has been torn apart by mysterious rifts. In search of Link and the King of Hyrule, both of whom were stolen away, Princess Zelda must borrow the power of an ethereal creature called Tri. Together, they enter the tears of the kingdom that scar the land in order to save her kingdom. On her journey, Zelda will explore what lies within the rifts. Massive dungeons can also be found deep within the Still World. Zelda will use her wisdom and echoes to take on enemies and puzzles that stand in her way, then confront the challenging bosses who await her arrival. What to do, though? Overwhelm the boss with echoes? Or combine them to find unique ways around the situation? The strategy is yours to devise. The Still World can be accessed through the rifts scattered across Hyrule, and each entry point leads to a location with its own defining features. On her adventure, Zelda must overcome dungeons within the rifts and the mysteries that they hold. Without Link or the King, Hyrule's fate rests squarely on Zelda's hands. However, she doesn't just do these echoes and the wand and the Tri, she actually has a fighting form called the Sword Fighter form too. It says, whenever Zelda finds and picks up a mysterious sword, she takes on the Sword Fighter form, allowing her to attack directly. With its mighty power, she can forge ahead when her path is blocked, strike down enemies on her own, or battle alongside her echoes. However, she can only stay in Sword Fighter form for a short period of time. When or where you choose to wield this power is up to you. The sword's gauge can be replenished by collecting energy found in the Still World, so be sure to grab any that you find. I am so looking forward to this new Zelda. I am so happy that we're not getting another 3D Zelda, because those are completely unplayable to me. I know I'm just old, it is what it is, but 2D Zelda, that is where it's at. I am loving the art style, loving like the whole Link's Awakening vibe going on here, loving the Link to the Past Hyrule that they're using. I love the two different worlds. I'm loving everything that I see about this. Celtic mythology-inspired pixel art action RPG Drova Forsaken Kin launches on October 15th for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC. This is a handcrafted open world where your choices and actions shape the environment. I saw this, and at first I was just kind of like, eh, but then I was like, pixel art? Okay, I can look into this. It's different, whatever. It's unique. I can totally get behind this. It says that it's inspired by grim dark classics of the genre and the mystical allure of Celtic mythology. Dive into a handcrafted open world where your choices and actions shape the environment. A society has discovered the power of the dead empire, to capture the spirits that govern nature and rule over them instead. However, the anger of the remaining spirits divided them. Where will you stand? Join one of two factions, each with their own values and in pursuit of their own goals. Your choice will be relevant for the rest of the game and impact the entire story. Everything comes with a price. Meet teachers and learn numerous abilities, but expect foes and betrayals too. So it looks like it does have some replay value as well. Enotria, the last song for Xbox, has been delayed to unannounced date. Yeah, delayed is a nice way of putting it. So this is a Souls-like action RPG. I talked about this in the September release video. It's like Italian folklore inspired or whatever. And it was previously planned to release on September the 19th, but now it looks like it has been moved to an unannounced date. However, the PlayStation 5 and PC versions will still launch digitally on September the 19th, with the physical edition to come a couple of months later. And then they said that they are unfortunately announcing an indefinite delay of the Xbox version, which basically says it's canceled. So yeah, sorry about that, but it is what it is if you are looking forward to this Souls-like game. Eternights is coming to the Nintendo Switch on October the 17th. It's already available for the PS5, PS4, and PC. It's calling itself an action dating game, which I guess is somewhat correct. I first played this back whenever it launched in September of last year, and some people seemed to like it. However, me hated it. Yeah, I really couldn't stand it. So this, I would suggest watching some reviews and seeing, you know, whose viewpoint you align with, if you align with my viewpoint on it, or some other reviewers, and see if you like it or not. I know that Taylor over at the Gaming Shelf, he was like, yeah, this thing's like the bee's knees, and I'm just like, ugh, this thing sucks. Talk about a blast from the past. Yeah, I'm going back like 15-something years right now, to whenever the indie scene was still really brand new and nobody knew what was really going on with it, and games like Breath of Death 7 were all the rage. And then this game came around called To the Moon, and I remember hearing everybody going on and on and on and on and on about it, and I started playing it and I was like, ooh, it's a visual novel sort of thing. But anyway, it is now coming for the PS5 and the Xbox. We do not have a release date. Let's see. So if you haven't heard of this, because you're not as old as I am, let me tell you the about. Dr. Rosaline and Dr. Watts have peculiar jobs. They give people another chance to live, all the way from the very beginning, but only in the patients' heads. Due to the severity of the operation, the new life becomes the last thing that the patients remember before drawing their last breath. Thus, the operation is only done on people to their deathbeds, to fulfill what they wish they had done with their lives, but didn't. This particular story follows their attempt to fulfill the dream of an elderly man, Johnny. With each step back in time, a new fragment of Johnny's past is revealed. As the two doctors piece together the puzzled events that spanned a lifetime, they seek to find out just why the frail old man chose his dying wish to be what it is. And Johnny's last wish, of course, is to go to the moon. Now, not only that, I saw here that, yeah, we're getting just a To the Moon series beach episode. I guess there's a beach on the moon from the Sea of Tranquility. I don't know. Launching on September the 20th. This is a To the Moon spin-off, which is also a spin-off of the other spin-offs of To the Moon, because this thing has been going on forever, of Finding Paradise in Imposter Factory. This is coming to the PC via Steam on September 20th. Now this says, get ready for a new short adventure as Sig Corp crew takes off on an all-expenses paid vacation at the Golden Lobster Hotel and Resort for a grand total of 1 day, which is apparently the most the company was willing to fork out. Been there, done that. Join familiar faces from To the Moon, Finding Paradise, and Imposter Factory in this narrative adventure filled with mini-games of varying elements, mysteries, and relaxation, as well as... wait! Most of the characters here should already be dead. Thanks for the spoilers in the blurb, Gamatsu. We have a Disney Pixel RPG coming out due this year. Yeah. So it says right here, this is from Gung Ho Online Entertainment. This is an RPG where you go on adventures with pixel art versions of Disney characters. Classic characters like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck appear, Pooh, Aladdin, Ariel, Baymax, Stitch, Aurora, Maleficent, and other fan favorites join the fun as well. Dive into a never-before-seen Disney world where familiar characters get new looks themed around rhythm games, board games, and various other genres. The game worlds that the Disney characters call home have suddenly been invaded by strange programs, resulting in chaos. Previously isolated game worlds have become connected, causing unexpected encounters between characters and throwing them into confusion. Take on the role of a player of these games and join Disney characters as you embark on an epic quest across multiple game worlds to restore order. Sounds like Kingdom Hearts to me, but okay. I saw this and I'm like, wow, this really is like pixel art. Very, very interesting right here. I thought this was interesting as well, because it's kind of like baby's first RPG, because it says, more experienced RPG players can delve deeper into strategizing by making use of the attack, defend, and skill commands. Ha! You think? Sounds like an auto-battler to me. And nothing of value was lost. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius Global Version to end service on October 30th. This is a free-to-play RPG to shut down after 8 years. However, the Japanese version of the game will remain in service. The rest of this article is they're like, it is with great sincerity and apology that we shut this down, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to end service on October 30th. And then there's like last days to pay for stuff or whatever and all that kind of junk here. If you play this game, you might want to read this article. The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky the First will feature details from later entries and be revoiced. So there's some historical revisionist stuff happening here, kind of like in the Crossbow Duology remakes that came out as well. There was a whole interview that went on and on and on and on and on, but I'm only going to hit the high points. It says, the release will be revoiced in Japanese, though the voice cast has yet to be decided. This means that the developer will not be using the voice lines from the Evolution ports of the Sky trilogy. Okay. This also seemingly raises the chances of an English dub for a global release, since there won't be the backbone of the Evolution voice work, which covers practically the whole game. Then again, with the lack of a Western publisher, the notion of an English dub still remains a mystery. We don't know who's getting it. We don't know if Falcom's just gonna say, here you go, we're just doing it ourselves. If they're going to contract Xseed, or if they're going to go with Nisa, or somebody else. We have no idea. Further, this will feature new details that debuted in later entries of the series post-Sky, which will help with cohesion and world building. Specific examples were not given, but perhaps we'll see or at least hear references to Van Arkride and other notable characters. Lastly, Kondo said that they'll only remake the remaining parts of the trilogy if The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky First sells well. But just like they say, and I think the same thing, that just seems like corporate speak, so I wouldn't pay too much attention to the statement. If they're going to go ahead and remake the entirety of Liberl, like, why would they not go ahead and redo the second part of the game, because they already have like 90% of the work done, because the second half of the game is pretty much just going all the way back through the places they went to in the first part of the game. It's just different events and different dialogue and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, like, duh, if they're going to do the first one, they're obviously going to do the second one, and duh, this game is going to sell like hotcakes. And in our final story of the week, when Sakaguchi speaks, we listen. He's the father of Final Fantasy after all, and he says that he believes Final Fantasy VI to be the closest to the most complete Final Fantasy, citing pixel art as a significant reason. Yeah. So we had an interview with Sakaguchi, and he says, Final Fantasy, the moment that we completed it, he's talking about the very first game, the moment that we completed it and released it to the market, provided myself with a huge sense of accomplishment and achievement, simply because it was the first game that we didn't know what we were doing and how the market would react at the time. In terms of the Final Fantasy that I think is the most complete, I believe Final Fantasy VI comes close, and that does stand out above the other Final Fantasies, especially because it was the last Final Fantasy to use pixel art in all of its visual expression. Sakaguchi also commented on the core ingredients of a Final Fantasy game, the story and the world. The latter needs to contain a thematic element connected to the current event somehow. The world must also provide a thematic backbone or message that gives a different perspective or a thought-provoking prompt for players. So, guess what's making a comeback? Pixel art! We saw it even here in the news program with multiple pixel art RPGs. We're seeing it in Square themselves with the HD 2D remakes that they've been doing with Octopath Traveler, with Dragon Quest III, with Triangle Strategy. We know that Final Fantasy XVI didn't exactly smash the record books, so maybe they'll go back to the basics, and Final Fantasy XVII might be pixel art, and maybe they can get Sakaguchi on board, and this will be his final swan song Final Fantasy. Maybe. Here's to hoping. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and as always, have a good day.